Are you ready to learn to get rid of stress in your life? To learn how to deal with the emotional turmoil that causes strokes, heart attacks, bad health, and even life-changing habits for work, family, and everyone you deal with start here with Andrew Wittman. It's time to get warrior tough. Here's Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman.
All right, it's time to get warrior tough, the most monumental hour in media anywhere. We're coming to you live from Tallahassee, Florida. What's up, Dutch?
What's happening? Home of the Florida State Seminoles. How crazy is that?
Oh, I was doing the gator chop. Is that wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, sorry. Whoop. Oh, man, we're having a great time down here. I mean, it was really a great day. And the last 2 days, we did some great training down here. We had a good time. And I do have some stories for you all about this road trip that I took with Dutch. So
absolutely great. The guys and gals, I should say, really receptive to what we had to offer them. They were high achievers. These guys were guys and gals, I should say. When I say guys, I mean both. But they were really motivated. Again, these are high achievers, high performers. And when you get into a room with them, you have to step your game up because they're going to have wonderful questions. They're going to have a wide variety of experiences. So you have to be on your A game if you want. And we're learning stuff from these guys.
I'm totally impressed with this group, and I love them. As law enforcement executives, just top. They're command staffers and just great folks, and we had a great time. Now, I do got to tell you, when we rolled into town, and my smoking hot wife, Kimmy, she texted me and said, I texted you, and she said, hey, Travis Blanks is in Tallahassee. I just saw on Facebook, right? So we said, what? So we texted Travis. If you guys don't know, Travis was on the Clemson national championship team that just played this year. He's a starter on the defense. Great guy, mental toughness guru. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever met.
Absolutely.
Just a great leader. So we met him for dinner, and that was such a great time to see him and catch up with him. So he got in the car, and we're driving him back to his place, and he looks in the back, and there's like all these candy wrappers on the floor of the car. And he's like, Andrew, what's going on, man? I said, don't even look at me, T. You know who it is. And he looked at Dutch and he said, #Candyman. He said, you got to lay off that stuff. There was gummy bears and M&Ms and all kind of stuff, man.
Okay, man. Look, I do that to remind me of my kids while I'm on the road.
Don't remind me of my kids, man. You were just snacking away on M&Ms and all kind of stuff, man. They'd be like, I'm going to get some fruit tonight.
Hey, they keep me young, so I got to eating that candy keeps me young.
Candy. Oh, my God.
But, yeah, shout out to Travis Blanks, man. I've been knowing Travis since his freshman year here at Clemson, and we spent a lot of time together. He's been over the house a bunch of times, and we've had a lot of opportunities to talk, and of course you dealt with him in his leadership training, things of that nature. So we know his mettle, what he's made of, and not everyone in Clemson Nation knows what he's made of.
And I'm really hoping, Dutch, that the whole world will get to see it because he's an NFL prospect right now. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm really he's working hard, and I hope that it really pays off for him.
The good news is, in some capacity, the whole world will see it. I really believe that because he's a young man that, along with being an NFL prospect, he has the prospects of becoming a great leader in whatever he does, whether it's in industry, whether it's in coaching.
Oh, definitely, man.
Whether it's in ministry, whatever it is, he's going to excel, and the world is going to get them some Travis Blanks.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I can't get enough of him. He's just so impressive. And, I always hear all this junk talk about millennials this and millennials that and all this stuff. And this kid, man, I say a kid because he's young, man. He just graduated, I think, right? He just got his degree, and he's amazing. And if you think that you think, oh man, the country's gone to hell in a handbasket, go hang out with guys like him and girls like that my kids hang around with. They have this thing they call the squad. They're high school kids. They're even younger than Travis, but they're just like 2 of them are going to West Point. Other ones are going to like the Citadel, College of Charleston. And they all have aspirations. They're quality people. I'm telling you that the future of this country is not as bleak as people try to make it out, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and we have as leaders, we have control over some of that. When we comment on the future of the nation. A lot of times people are saying it in a complaining way as if we have no hand in that, as if we have no opportunity to train these. And that's one of the things that me and Andrew have committed ourselves to do, was become a part of that solution. With all the complaining that's going on, we've decided not to complain about it, but be a part of the solution. So one of our organized efforts is to get young people trained, to get young people the mental toughness training that we do. And so if you know people in your community that want to be, that you want trained, if there's a group of exceptional students, reach out to us at getwarriortough.com. We'll figure out all the details.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about that for a minute, because this is you've come up with this model. You've been working on it for months, and I guess we can kind of reveal it now because we've told it in public a few times. So I want to the way this is, we've got it worked out to sponsor a student, a young student. We can do it for, I think we said $500 for the 2-day training. And now this training, guys, that we're talking about is the same training that we give CEOs and executives, and it's all about CEO view, and there's a part called People Whisper. And all, I mean, this is top-level training that we give. Then we pay. Well, it's.
Now, I was going to say, I got to say this. The backdrop of this discussion comes with the fact that we're dealing with, chiefs of police, deputy chiefs. We're dealing with attorneys. And the number one thing that they say to me is, man, I wish I had this when I was a rookie. I wish I had this when I was 18 or 19. So we're like, you know what? You're right. Why aren't we giving this to 18? So when you think about why not give this to an 18-year-old, this is birthed not only in our mind, but the minds of the people who are subconsciously and consciously saying, I wish I had this at that age.
That's the feedback we get everywhere we go.
And so it just validated our thoughts. It confirmed what we already believed. Like, man, this is not just us. This is in the thoughts and the hearts and minds of people everywhere. So along with you said about sponsoring.
We're sponsoring these kids. Okay, so it does cost money. I mean, we're chopping our fee. We're chopping it to bare bones so that we could actually put this on and go somewhere and do it, where we could still, actually keep the lights on. So we have it down to $500 a head per student, and we'd like to get, a group and have businesses sponsor leadership, high-performing students, whether they're athletes, whether they're in student government, whether they're, young entrepreneurs, whether they're in the debate club. If you picked, you see students and you're like, you know what, they have a huge future, I'd like to have a part in that, then you could, sponsor a student to come to our training, a young person, and we will teach them, we walk them down the path so that they can create their ultimate target. And if you've ever heard, I've had my son Drew on. He's gone to the Citadel. We've interviewed him a couple times, Dutch, where he and I always joke that he's my guinea pig, right? Because what we do is, but he wrote all this stuff down. He has his ultimate target, and everything backfills. He knows exactly where he's going, what he wants clearly. He has clarity in life, and he doesn't get caught in the sand traps. And this thing is amazing that you have come, and it's your brainchild, Dutch. It wasn't mine. I didn't think anything of this stuff. I'm just trying to do the work, and you're saying, wait, how can we do the work but may have the biggest impact for the community and help people? And so I want to,
the thing that I want people, even when they hear that figure, think about the bigger picture. And you think about in one community, because I'm going to be reaching out to some of you that are listening right now. Be on the lookout for me. Watch my number on the call ID. You know why I'm calling. And I'll use the local Clemson area, for example. There's Daniel High School, there's Seneca High School, and that's within miles of each other. So if I along with my my local business people, community members, identify, let's say, 30 high-performing students between the two schools, and we had businesses in the local area pledge to sponsor 1, 2, 3, 4 students each, that lightens the load for each business, and it allows you to get more student involved. So my ideal plan would be to get 30 kids in a room from the two different locations, depending on the size of your organization and business. Maybe you're sponsoring 4 kids, so your input is 2,000.
Maybe you can do 10.
Maybe you can do 10, 5,000. But when you're talking about businesses that are willing to support their local community, we can put this together. And you said we're basically cutting it in half, the cost in half.
Absolutely, yeah. We're
to make this happen.
It. Yeah,
and we're happy to do that. If you buy in with us, then we're willing to buy in.
So we're giving half. We're giving our half of the $500 per student.
Absolutely.
We're giving that right now when we ask, and others to go. And listen, it only helps the community. Now, the other thing that we're going to do, right, with this, as we're talking to law enforcement, budget is a huge problem, but this message needs to get into law enforcement in a big way, because there's a huge problem in this country right now between the police, the public perception, whether I'm pro-cop, anti-cop, whatever your side of the issue is, we all know that there is issues. There are issues, and it's a problem.
All you have to do is get on social media, and you can see the different sides of the debate. You can see the anger, the emotion that's involved. And one of the big things I'm proud of is the community, the support for police officers.
Right. So we want to maximize that.
Absolutely.
So if you're supporting police officers, this is another deal, right? This is what we are cutting our fee in half. Actually, we'll even do it more if we have to with law enforcement, because I believe it's so important in the community. But we're looking for business to help sponsor training for the law enforcement officers of this mental toughness, of this get a hold of the People Whisperer, the CEO of You, and it's so huge and it's great for the entire community.
For example, we have Motorola.
Motorola did sponsor us for the
one of the programs.
Yeah, for one of the police chief program here in Florida. They gave a grant, and they paid for half the fee. And Dutch and I, we paid for the other half of the fee to come down and do it. And that's how important it is to us on both of these issues.
So imagine that. Imagine that as the example. So now that was Motorola, but there are plenty of businesses and local organizations within your community that can step up and do the same thing. Support your local police officers. That's what we're saying. If you really believe in what they're doing, their mission, they're out there putting it on the line every day. And believe me, they will tell you after going through it the value of what we do, because we hear it all the time. We heard it today by command staffs. We're talking about people at the highest levels speaking on the value of this and how much they appreciated this. And then we talking about how much we appreciate them. So our goal is to get this into the hands of as many of them as possible.
I got to tell you, law enforcement, that's kind of in my blood, not kind of, it is, and my heart's in it. But I wish I knew this stuff that we're teaching. I wish I knew it as a rookie, and I'll be one of the first ones to tell you that. And then that was the kind of the feedback that we get every time that we go in, and we've taught law enforcement in the Northeast. We've taught it down here in the South. And when we go all across, up and down the seaboard, and I'm willing to take it anywhere, but I try to stay close to that. I'd like to stay in the same time zone, man, but I'm willing to go wherever. But it does help, and especially with the Ferguson effect out there and all that we get a hold of that. We give our law enforcement the tools to do their job in a manner that it's a win-win for everybody in the community. Not just for law enforcement, not just for the community, but everybody. It's a win for everybody.
One of the things we said is whenever there's a disagreement between two different groups, right? Imagine if they both spoke the same language. And a lot of times you don't have that. And so what we're teaching is emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. What we're teaching is how to deal with difficult situations and or difficult people. So now if we're training the young people, and at the same time we're training the officers, right? We're training our law enforcement officers, right? So now they're speaking the same language. They're going to be looking at each other like, where'd you learn that from? Where'd you get that? Yeah. So now, they're giving each other hugs and they're giving each other pounds. Like, oh man, that's great, man. Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman. Oh yeah. Okay. So when you see people behaving, I mean that's a tremendous icebreaker. So we're talking about having affected an entire culture, an entire society.
Yeah.
Or infecting. And I know that's a big
infecting. Yeah, we'll almost go viral. And I know that's a huge goal, Dutch. But if we don't do if everybody just sits around, and that's just the American and American. You guys heard me rant about that before. Well, we can't do nothing about it, and you're just going to be problem-oriented. That's not what Dutch and I are doing. We're going to be solution-oriented, but we need your help. It's your community. We're going to come in and we're going to help. But, hey, look, man, this is your country. It's your community. Are you serious about it? I mean, all I hear is complaints about this stuff, and nobody wants to step up. So we're going to step up and do something. We're putting our money where our mouth is, and I ask all the other people, if you have, you're a business owner or whatever, do the same. We're doing it.
Absolutely. And again, there are going to be some organizations, there are going to be some police departments or police organizations that can afford it. But in your local community, we know that is a challenge for a lot of the local.
And I'll just be straight up with you, man. A lot of reasons it's a challenge because people don't like to pay higher taxes. And I don't like to pay higher taxes either. But, okay, so, so what are you going to do? Like not get the training and then just complain about this, that, and the other thing, but you don't want to pay higher taxes? It's like people that complain about the roads, but they don't want to pay higher gas tax. I get it, man. I'm there with you, but stop complaining about the other if you don't want, to invest in the infrastructure. So look, I'm proud to be part of this thing with you, Dutch. It was your idea. It was a brilliant idea to hit both of these from this angle. And you're a great fundraiser because you already talked me out of half of my fee. So, Dutch could talk me out of half. The rest of you are on notice, right? Because here comes Dutch.
Well, I tell you what, the main thing you should have heard from this is let's be solution oriented. Let's not bring, and a lot of people think about bringing ideas to the table. See, you notice I didn't say bring an idea, a new idea. I say bring a solution. Because an idea is just an idea. Let's bring the idea along with the how do you do it, from the initial part of the idea to the conclusion. That's a solution. You're figuring all that out. We always say, well, I want to be heard. No one listens to me. No one listens to my ideas. You know what people will listen to? Solutions.
I love it, man. I mean, you just prepackage that stuff.
10 seconds.
And bring them a solution. Hey, look, y'all listening to the Get Warrior Tough radio show. We're live from Tallahassee. This is Andrew Wittman with Dutch Coleman. We'll be right back.